You don't treat a disease without diagnosis. If a doctor can diagnose a disease, even if it's cancer, he will know how to manage it. So the good thing about it is now before we are fighting a phantom, we don't know something is fighting us, coming to take us. We don't know that person. Now, by going to talk with them and sit down with them and to hear their grievances and understand their psychology, so we are able now to contain the problem. Now, Kaduna is relatively safe. I can say you don't hear any more mass killings now in Kaduna because we understand the psychology and the governor is cooperating. We are talking to them and they are keeping their weapons. They are not fighting. They still on the weapons. They hold the weapons. But you see, this is a small, gradual process in which slowly we will civilize them. We'll take away their weapons and let them into good citizens.
Well,
so this is it. It has to be systemic. But for people who have sympathy for the bandits.
What Shiekh have just said. From your perspective, first off, what's your general overview of this statement from the U.S. government? Plus, from all that has been said thus far, is it clear right now that Nigeria seems to be negotiating with these bandits and terrorists in clear view of what, of course, the opposition would want to put up?
How can a group of people call themselves bandits and they are holding Nigeria to ransom? Where is it done? Can such a thing happen in America? That is why this man, Trump, is angry with us. This type of thing can never happen anywhere. And look at how we are trying to pamper them. Look, Moses, on a more serious note, they said anybody who go to the bush and fetch anti-infested firewood is calling for Lizard to come for a party in his house. If we have not allowed these people to come into Nigeria, will anybody be talking to us? Are we going to become a number in the CPC? But because we allow this thing, and leaders, from the beginning, they were tolerating these boys. Moses, on what ground would anybody, any leader in Nigeria, either from the north or south, go outside and bring terrorists into Nigeria? They are their boss, that if anybody should attack them, they will not vote for that person. In this country, somebody told us that, yes, that if government does not answer to them, there will no peace in Nigeria. Moses, these things are a statement that was made for a man who claimed to be patriotic, a statesman. Is that how to solve a problem? You are pampering these boys, you are making them to become so bold. What audacity do they even have to attack anybody in Nigeria? For what? No, hold on. These other people, especially from the southeast, who have been fending for themselves, do they look for government subsidy? No, do they wait for government to pamper them? No, these other people that are fending for, struggling to survive in Nigeria. Why must a group of people now tell us that we must answer them? They are this, psychological, this and this. These other Nigerians that are holding peaceful agitation, peaceful nature, peaceful businesses, are they not Nigerians? Right. So if all of us become bandits, what will happen to us, Moses? Hold on though. If all of us become bandits, will Nigeria exist? You can see how we clearly bring problem into ourselves and we are now blaming America. Oh, you now have a subject where terrorists are not telling you what to do, Abi. You now have a subject where terrorists are on the dining table with government, telling government what to do. And leaders are supporting it in Moses. That's even my annoyance. Why would anybody utter such words? These are things you should frown at. Who brought them into Nigeria? Was Nigeria like this in 1999? Moses, please be sincere to yourself. Who brought them into Nigeria? What are they doing here? Why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in the Republic of Benin? Please, why are they not in South Africa? You can see, we forgot the genesis of our problem and we are blaming America. Let them come, if that will solve the problem. Since you people don't know what to do, let them come and help us. Look at now, as I'm talking to you now, almost 20 villages have been taken over in Plateau and Benue. Moses, who are those to occupy those villages? Are they Christians? The real indigenous of those states are now in IDP camp, and they are the farmers in Nigeria. Can you beat that? And yet, everybody is not talking.
You did mention earlier that the Nigerian army at the moment are doing well enough to manage the insecurity within the space? And of course, you mentioned Kaduna State that has been relatively peaceful from your perspective as well. But the question about Donald Trump's statement, particularly in helping Nigeria go off insecurity when it comes to these jihadist groups, is one that you have frowned at. And you've made mention that the presidency should reject that statement. In fact, you also did say that the consulate in Nigeria should be called to order. From your perspective, as it stands, do you think the sovereignty of Nigeria has not been trampled upon with the level of insecurity that has bedeviled us and the fact that the government has consistently have conversation with terrorists, which again is against the constitution of Nigeria as a nation?
Okay, I actually don't understand particularly what you want me to comment on now. But you see, you are dealing with this Western colonist, imperialist, supremacist mind. They know how to divide brothers and make them fight. I don't think their interference in Nigerian internal affairs should be rejected by all meaningful nationalist, patriotic Nigerian. Yes, we have problem. And yes, in fact, even to accuse the government, of being complicit in this, it's even obnoxious. I don't know how somebody in that position should ever even suggest that Nigerian government is complicit or that Nigerian government is not doing anything to curb them. In fact, what Nigerian government did was it was able to contain. We are able to contain these terrorists more than Mali is doing. I think we should unite as Nigerians. These people, they don't have religion. They are just, I don't know, it's an evil that God has sent it not only to everybody, to the Muslim. Let me tell you how Americans can help us. They can give us drones, surveillance drones. They can also give us fighting
which of course
drones.
we have
before now.
12 Tucano jets. They've gotten weapons.
No, Tucano jets are useless. They just use Buhari. Sorry to say, it's already a deceased person. They use an idiot to collect money, about $500 million from Nigeria, without even going through the Senate.
But
they are not ready to do it. How can they tell me they want to come and start bombing Nigerians when they will be bombing innocent people and they will compound the problem? In fact, our problem is local, and we, the locals down, we know better how to deal with it than somebody outside coming to threaten. And more or less.
Thank you so very much, Sheikh. I want to come back to the studio. Barrister, I've been seeing you saying that several things on the ground, but let's have your opinion on these particular move.
Look, I hate when people gaslight the whole Nigeria, not just one person, not just a group. I see this thing as gaslighting, because when Jonathan was in office, Jonathan had to bring General Ihejirika, who gave Boko Haram hell. He was chasing them bumper to. In fact, it was Ihejirika that identified Sambisa Forest, where he chased them into. Moses, what happened? Northern leader started writing petition against Jonathan, sending letter to ICC, to America, to everybody, that Jonathan want to do genocide, he want to retaliate what they did to them during the war. Is that not what happened here in Nigeria? For a people who wanted this thing to end, wouldn't you have encouraged Jonathan in what he was doing? Please, somebody should answer me.